It is like that. It's like a battery pack. It's like, it is like God has to sit you down because you're not understanding what it means to fully love yourself, because maybe you've never experienced unconditional love with another, or the kind of love you desire, right? It's like we've talked about, everybody only reaches such like a certain high, and every time they get to a certain high, a higher energy level, they think that's it. And this is why you have to do it yourself and fill up from the inside out and reach the heights you want to reach, and so that you can get familiar with that feeling. So when you resonate that feeling in another, it feels good, right? And like it's like you can work together, kind of thing. It's like you can work with that energy seamlessly. It's like that match, right? Energetic match, that kind of mentality. And oh God, sorry, so much is flying at me this morning. I don't know why. It does feel like somebody just dumped an entire bucket on me, and that's why it's like smacking me all over the place and too quickly. And so it's like, oh God, it's like brotherhoods. That they were showing all types of things like that, where it was like people are aware of this and are unaware of this dynamic, and they say it in whatever way they say it and understand it the whatever way they understand it. And so it is like sometimes God will have to sit you down until you learn all your lessons. And again, some of us slower than others. Meaning, please, God, don't be as slow as me. Try to pick up on all this stuff much younger in your life. The sooner the better, because then you're deaf and blind and dumb for God knows how many years, because you're under lock and key of somebody who's keeping you deaf and blind and dumb. But, they can be like, oh, the contract's almost up with my battery pack. If you want to take it over, go ahead and send in others to convince her she only knows this level of love, so you can fool her with, love bombing or lust or, whatever lower energy, right? This is why it serves us to learn our lessons and see where we're not loving and honoring ourselves. And here's the tricky thing too that they keep showing. There are times where this is so fucked up, but this is still a form of not loving yourself, where you could fully love and accept yourself, but it's like accept or expect others to be, I don't know what they're showing. At some people, it's like I guess they love themselves, but they'll accept less than, something like this. And, but to me, that's still a version of not fully loving and honoring yourself. But it's almost like, oh, they didn't think that the real existed. Right? But it's almost arrogant, and it's like, oh, what? So you're the only one who's ever reached? And it's like they just haven't encountered another real one, And so it's like, well, I can keep bumbling along solo, waiting for a real one, or I guess I just jump in and play and accept what it is. And but I'm suggesting, please don't do that. Please don't do that. One, that's a lesson for you to learn on many levels. But two, it's like it's really not loving and honoring yourself. But that's a big part of those lessons you'll need to learn with that. But so it was kind of like that. It's kind of like, if you go within in any one of these times when you are bound and chained, whether you realize it or not, you realize something's often wrong, but you can't see what or why, then it is this... turn within, start learning your lessons. It can seem like a cruel twist of fate, or it can seem like karma. It can seem like, people call it a billion different things. Who the fuck cares? Just figure out what the fuck is wrong, what's not right? What's tangled up in knots, kinks, confusions, delusions. What the fuck is going on? And to me, that is going within, and it's like it forced me to do that, so that you can clear up and make amends with your higher self. Like, clear up that thick, dense wall that was between the two of you, keeping you stuck and confused. Realizing, oh shit, I'm stuck and confused, and there's this thick, dense wall because I turned my back on you because I wasn't honoring me. And I wasn't looking at it like that. But now I see, right? Because then once you start to do that work, and then you're like, fuck, And I've shared that with you when it's like, holy shit, because then you see from that angle. And when you see from that angle, you're like, holy shit. So then it's like your subconscious mind, your higher self, your better knowing, your direct connection to the universe will be like, oh, don't worry. Let me toss up some more. Let me tell you all the other times. Oh, let me remind you of the other times. Oh, let me remind you of the other times. Oh, did you think we were done? We're just getting started, right? And so it is like Judgment Day, right? It's this idea. But it's like, so during that time that maybe somebody else has you tied and bound and draining your battery pack, what are you going to do about it? So you might as well get to know you. You might as well get to love you. You might as well get to learn your lessons and understand, because it's always us. It always starts and ends with us, right? It's like, you didn't have to give your heart to that person. You chose that. Why'd you choose that? Right? So it's like, oh, don't you worry. There's plenty to walk back. There's plenty of our own karma to eat, our own mirrors to see, our own choices we made, all these things. And don't worry, there's so much. So it's like, you don't worry, you have plenty of time because you're chained and bound, and you need all that time because we have lots to go over. We have lots to uncover. We have lots and lots to discuss, right? And even if you do make amends and repair, it does seem like, in other words, I feel like I made repair and amends pretty quickly, even though there was still lots for me, but it was like the relationship got repaired fairly quickly with my higher self, but that didn't mean I didn't have lots to learn. It just means my higher self loved me enough to help me through it, is the best way I can explain it. And the universe was right there, even closer, but because my higher self was in repair with me. Does that make sense? Because to me, the way they show it and the way I understand it, it's like you have to connect with your higher self. You have to be in agreement to move forward. And when you're in a loving connection with your higher self, you're loving yourself, you're honoring yourself, you're making those repairs, you're doing the work with intention, you're trying to see up straight, not from your south node, but from your north node, from your higher self, then you can be in connection with the universe. Now, that doesn't always mean we're in flow with the universe, right? But we're learning as we go to get up to speed with that flow. And so it's just ironic how they're showing it all. It all just seems to be like, oh, now it clicks. So now you can get back into the flow. It's like you were sat down. But again, the way they also show it, it's like, yes, you made all those choices, but you had to make all those choices because you had to get to this point where we did get to have that time with you. So did somebody chain and bind you and blind you? Or did the universe send them in knowing that they would, which would require you then to get back in connection with you? Does it matter? I don't think so. It's the idea of the chicken or the egg. I don't know. I don't know that it matters. It is what it is. We're at where we're at. We have to figure it out. Yet, if you hear these stories and any of them resonate, it's like gives you that, oh shit, that's what's going on. Because that's the stuff that helped me, right? It's like I just started to tune in more and more. But it is kind of like breadcrumbs. Right? It does feel like that at some points. At some points when I'm really stuck or when I can't see clearly or when I'm upset, it feels like breadcrumbs in that I feel like the universe is giving me a little trail to follow. And if you're curious enough and I was just going to say if you're hurt enough, that's not the case for everybody, but for me it was. It was like, no, I'm really hurt. So I'll take any fucking crumb to figure this the fuck out. So I was like studying a lot and looking at different programs and following this and following that and figuring it out and looking into this and looking into that. And I guess next thing you know, it does feel like stuff starts to click, click, click. But I'll tell you, it really does feel like the never-ending clicks. It feels like the never-ending clicks, which always comes back to that damn commercial, the Tootsie Roll. How many crunches to get to the center? I don't fucking know. Maybe 7 years of hard hard look in the mirror. But it hasn't been a hard look in the mirror, meaning I've actually loved this process. And at the same time, it most definitely has been the most challenging time of my life. So that's what I mean by a hard look in the mirror, where it was, I don't want to say the best and the worst, because that's not true either. It's just been, maybe it's just been the most growth I've ever had. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is the first time I've ever been able to grow so much or stretch so much, so far out of my comfort zone, that it allowed me to truly grow. Maybe it's one of the first real breakthroughs I've had. Meaning it's like you have I've had billions of breakthroughs throughout my life, and I always think they're so profound. I always think they're so great. But maybe I was so small, right? Like maybe I was an atom, right? And I had to pop through 10 million breakthroughs just to get to the size of a seed. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, why I've gone through 10 million breakthroughs. I'm only a seed. What? Right? And so it can feel to us, because it's always just based on our own perspective, it can feel to us that we have come so much further than we have. And at the same time, don't discredit yourself, because it's in that process of comparison of I'm only a seed. What? Compared to what? Compared to what? Because yes, you're a huge seed now compared to that little molecule. So you're massive in comparison. You've had tremendous amount of growth. This is why you want to celebrate all those wins. But again, to me, it's a fine line and a balance, right? Because had I stopped, there's so many wins I've had. But if I've stopped at any of the wins thinking they were the win, that was the end, there's never a fucking end. There's never a fucking end. We grow into the day we die. And don't worry, we come back and continue to grow. We actually never die. We're as dead as we get when we're living. And what we call living is as dead as we ever get, because this is when we're bound and chained. This is when we're learning our lessons. This is when we have to see. And if we can see enough, long enough, grow enough, if our soul can accomplish these things in each lifetime, then it becomes less of a lesson or a school and more of a playground and a tool. And so it depends on where you're at in that evolution, which can sound really funny, because again, when you step way, 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 way back, people look at that word and that term differently as we've evolved as a human race. But each individual soul within all of these vehicles of bodysuits can be tremendously different. This is why even animals, you can see animals that are of the same race, and they can have such different personalities and different. It's like you can look at one lion and be like, God, it's so wise, and look at another one and be like, that must be a totally different bloodline, right? Like, why is that so different? Why can't they learn? And it's just maybe the soul in them is brand spanking new. Or maybe they're like me and they learn backwards. So it's like the stuff that seems challenging to others seems like obvious to me, so I don't even say it because I think it's obvious. I thought everybody knew. And the stuff that seems so obvious to people seems to be the most challenging for me, but then I feel stupid, right? But then it's like, again, wrong hinges, wrong understanding, wrong whatever, but it is this mishinge that our mind will do, be like, well, everybody knew that. How come you didn't? Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. It's been a morning. It has been a morning. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.